Hi, Matthias here. Today I want to do an episode about a huge classic and a favorite of mine. It's an old power pop game by The Nerves. In 1976, these guys, Jack Lee, Paul Collins and Peter Case, went into the studio in San Francisco somewhere to record this EP. They had taken a loan on the bank to do this, and they recorded 4 songs that I would say they are all classic today, but especially the first song, Hanging on the Telephone, written by Jack Lee. They recorded this and pressed it in 2,000 copies. They didn't have any distribution or anything. They were selling these records by themselves. They actually put an ad in Rolling Stone to try and make sales, which they did. They sold a few copies more due to that ad. Greg Shaw from the Bump label showed interest in the band and actually wrote them a letter to buy copies and distribute to Europe. But in the end, they didn't sell much of the EP, not at that moment at least. But later on in 1978, when the band had broken up, Jeffrey Lee Pierce of the Gun Club gave away a tape to Deborah Harry in Blondie, which included the song Hanging on the Telephone with The Nerves. And while on tour in Japan, and they were in a cab in Tokyo, they put the tape on and the speakers blasting out Hanging on the Telephone, and they saw the taxi driver tapping his head and like digging the song. And Deborah said to Clem Burke that maybe we should record this song. It's really good. So when they were back in the States, she called up Jack Lee and asked if Blondie could record it. And he was okay with that. So they recorded it for their album Parallel Lines, which was released in 1978. This is the album. And as a second single, Blondie released Hanging on a Telephone. At first, in the US, it did not chart. But in UK, they got good attention, and the song ended up on number 5 in the charts. And also in the rest of Europe, it was quite a big hit. So with this single, it became a real classic. And I would say that most people maybe think of Blondie when they hear the song and hear the title. But at the same time, the Nerves EP has become a real classic as well, especially amongst power pop fans. But in 1982, Jack Lee decided to record the song again. And he actually asked Paul Collins to play the drums for him as well. So in 1982, Dyslexia Records released this 45 with Jack Lee's own version of it and another song, Women, on the flip. I would say the Nerves and Blondie's versions are pretty well known, while this one is not that known. But it can easily compete with the other two versions. It's just as great. Maybe the greatest version. I don't know. No, I will not choose one. I love them all, but this version has a real good punch to it. Here's the label. It's a UK press. I don't think it was released in US, only in UK. But I thought I would play the Jack Lee version, as that's probably the one you haven't heard yet. So I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, that was it. Great driving beat. As a side note, I will also let you know that on Blondie's single Hanging on the Telephone, on the flip side, Will Anything Happen is another song by Jack Lee actually. So they recorded 2 Jack Lee songs for the Parallel Lines album, which is pretty cool, and both ended up on the 45. Anyway, that was it. Hope you enjoyed this short episode. Yeah, bye bye. Yeah, talk to you later. Yeah.